Good morning, everybody. Been away for a while, so I appreciate you coming on back. We're going to start focusing on some upgrades on the 2020 Silverado. Today we're going to do a shock absorber swap to these Bilstein 5100s, and we're going to get rid of the factory Ranchos that everybody complains about. These are supposed to be the creme de la creme of shock absorbers, so you can see they're pretty stiff. So hopefully it'll make the ride a little more, sporty, keep the tires planted on the road when you're on washboard roads and stuff. It bounces around a little bit, so hopefully this will take care of that. Anyway, we'll let you know, we'll put them on, we'll go through that step by step and do a little test drive. So some of the tools you're going to definitely want to get the ball rolling is going to be a nice heavy duty floor jack, impact wrench to speed things along, breaker bar, torque wrench, a couple of safety stands, and a wheel chock for the front end. And of course, you'll trust the knee pads from crawling around in the concrete. So anyway, we'll get with it. I was just going to do a little compression test, not very scientific, but just to see what they're like. So everyone complained these were real mushy when driving. I honestly didn't really notice that much how mushy it is, but as you can see, pretty easy to push down. Honestly, I can do that one-handed, guys. So it did ride really smooth, no doubt about it. Not really like a truck, but it's a pretty nice truck. So anyway, yeah, one-handed, no problem. And I'm going to bottom it out. Okay, there you go. So we'll try the same thing. We'll try it one-handed as well, just to be fair. Definitely a lot harder. Yeah, it's gonna take two hands. There we go. I'd say it's definitely double the amount of resistance in there, based upon my non-scientific muscle head test. First thing we're gonna do is a couple safety things. So obviously your parking brake is for the rear wheels, and having your vehicle in park is for the rear wheels unless it's in four-wheel drive. So when you jack it up, it could start rolling away. So a good idea is always put a safety chock on whatever opposite end of the vehicle you're jacking up. Under here, we're going to want the suspension hanging when we put those shocks on, so we don't have to try to compress them. So just to get a little extra lift out of the high lift jack, I put some 2x6s on top of the jack. Just give me about 4 inches extra lift. The other thing I should mention is if you have a car or a truck with nice wheels and you got wheel locks on them, make sure you keep the wheel lock key in the vehicle at all times. And I like to put it in a Ziploc bag and just write on it with a Sharpie, 2020 Silverado wheel lock key. That way if you're at a tire shop or something else, or someone's borrowed your vehicle, they can get the wheels off if they need to. So anyway, just a couple tips. So guys, when you're taking these lug nuts off, if you have nice wheels and you're using an impact wrench, it's a really good idea to hold the socket up tight like this as you're coming it off. And by doing it this way, it'll keep you from banging the hell out of your rims with your socket spinning 8,000 miles an hour. So just a little tip I learned the hard way. And there we go. This should give us a lot better access to the shock absorber. And there you go. You can take a peek in there. And here's the factory Ranchos, which is part of the Z71 package, and those are going to go by the wayside, guys. So I'll jump right in it. So safety glasses, because every time you're underneath the rig, you're going to have some sort of crap falling down in your eyes, slow the whole program down. So it's a 21 millimeter at the bottom here, and monkey wrench on the other side, just because I don't have an end wrench that big that I can get to quickly. So we're going to use the impact just to make it a little quicker. The other one's also a 21, but it's way up top, and we'll not be able to get the impact on it, so we're going to have to use just a ratchet. So a little bit of a kick in the butt, but anyway, should go pretty well all in all. Here we go. There you have it, easy enough. So the bottom came loose pretty easy, seconds actually. Top one's a little tighter to get into, but again, 21 millimeter, half-inch drive, and you can just reach way up in there and get a hold of her. So it's really not that bad, guys. I think anybody, as long as you're careful and take a few minutes, you can do this at home, and again, it should be a pretty good upgrade for you. So just keep looking at Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, stuff like that. You'll find guys that, like the guy who bought this from, he ended up going with a bigger lift kit on his truck after just a couple thousand miles. So he sold these for $400 for the front and rear pairs. It was a grand new, so 40%, pretty good deal. Okay, so we got the factory one out. It actually feels pretty solid, but you definitely can compress it. So we'll put these new Bilstein in. You know, I see a lot of guys on the web aren't really sure. They end up putting them upside down and that sort of thing, but put the label so you can read it. It's how Bilstein says, or Bilstein, however you want to pronounce it, says to put them in. So obviously it's a lot firmer. So hopefully I can squeeze it up in there without having to get my lovely bride to do the compression for me. So just obviously slip it right back up in there where the other one came out of. Slip your bolt through and get it started. You may have to jiggle it around a little. Just make sure you're not going to try to cross thread it or something, obviously. And just cinch her down. So you can see, guys, that at full drop, the shock is about 1.5 inches to 2 inches below the hole. So it's a pretty tight fit to squeeze it up in there. So if you can't compress it by hand, a lot of times you can take a small, like a 1 inch wide ratchet strap and hook it up in there and ratchet it up into place. But I'm pretty sure I can squeeze it up in there. Just enough to get her started. So anyway, if you can't get that without the ratchet strap, it's a good inspiration to get yourself up into the gym. Just like that. Then I always double check things with an actual ratchet so I can kind of see how really tight they are. I don't want to crank it down too hard with that, but I also don't want to not crank it down enough. That feels plenty good. Now that we don't need to move it back and forth anymore to line it up, I'll go ahead and cinch this top one down the rest of the way. And there you have it, guys. We're going to jump over the other side.